Hi everyone, welcome back. I'll be doing the Usher of Mist Chaos today. This, of course, is the raid boss for the Awakening batch. I will be using two of the featured characters as well. Kuja I've been waiting for a while here. You can see I maxed out his weapon immediately. Lillisette, I did manage to pull her EX with some tickets, so I got very lucky. I did sink one ingot into her weapon, and the reason is pretty straightforward. Her Brave++ and HP++ are both significant increases to her power. Brave++ generates a notable amount of Brave, while the regular version does not. And her HP++ adds some Brave sharing after using her HP attack. It just adds a lot more Brave generation to her. It makes her much stronger. Warrior of Light also has one ingot. I just like his EX to do a little bit of damage. Last time I did this, I managed to complete it using Rama as my summon, but of course the boss is heavily resistant to Thunder, so I'm going to try it out with Shiva this time around. I'll leak a lot more Brave, but I think the damage I make up with Ultima is going to be much better. Cloud Friend is important for this run. You'll see why in the first wave. I'm going to be using him to heavily delay the Ghost so that I can kill it in one go. Alright, so basically the goal here is bring both of the minions down to fairly equivalent low health, so that when Kuja's EX comes up the first time, I'm able to kill them both in one hit. Shining Shield I'm going to use here is very important. This is what's going to stop the Ghost in the back from getting enough Brave to do anything especially scary or dangerous. Basically, if you keep taking Brave breaks, it generates a lot of extra Brave from that break bonus. And if it's able to get 2 or 3 of those, it's going to one-shot someone no matter what. That said, as long as you have Shining Shield in place, it's not a big problem. You're going to see I'm using a lot of abilities here. I'm trying to charge people's EXs quickly, and also to sort of save turns as well. It's very important. Alright, so you can see, next turn he'll generate enough Brave potentially to kill Warrior of Light. But if he aims at anyone else, I'll be fine. That said, I would prefer he aim at Kuja rather than Lillisette, because that's going to not cause me to lose a lot of stats. Kuja doesn't lose anything from taking damage, whereas Lillisette will cost the whole team 25% of their stats. Alright, so most important thing here, Warrior of Light has at least 2 turns on the turn count. I'm going to swap him out right away for Cloud. So I'm actually running a little faster than usual. I must be getting a lot of speed out of that Shiva. Normally I've taken 1 HP attack at this point in the fight with Rama, so Shiva so far is outperforming. Alright, so the goal here is Cloud's purpose is to delay, so I'll be using a finishing touch followed by a cross slash, possibly 2 times, in order to delay it long enough. It is possible that I'll have enough firepower that I will be able to skip the last cross slash and use a Meteor Rain instead. And that'll allow me to paralyze the tree 1 time, but it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. So as you've seen, I've used quite a few abilities so far in this fight. And the reason is that this is the part of the fight that if you don't burn this thing down right away, you will not hit the turn count no matter how hard you fight the second half. So, alright, so on the surface, Meteor Rain seems like the better turn here. If I use it, I will not be able to paralyze it in time for the second paralyze. So even though it's already launchable, I'm sort of trapped into using a finishing touch here. Alright, so here's the second cross slash. Using a Brave ++ there, I think it'll generate enough Brave that I'll be fine. And because I'll be able to set up a chain here, that means she'll still be able to dump that Brave. Alright, and I think Meteor Rain might actually finish this off. It did not, but it's very, very close. I think she'll get it. Nope, still missing it, so this is costing quite a few turns. Unfortunately, it should be okay. Okay, so this thing follows a pretty straightforward pattern, but it's still nonetheless kind of dangerous. I'm gonna open with a Whirling Edge here, because I think slowing it is more important. When combined with my Shiva, I think that extra speed will help me out quite a lot. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and use an Ultima right away, just to make sure I keep my buffs in place. It's also going to hit fairly hard, considering he hasn't had a chance to boost his stats yet. Alright. Warrior of Light's pretty much going to use Shining Wave every time it's available, unless I absolutely have to use something else. Alright, so it's not debuffed yet. That should be fine. I'd rather use her EX when it's available. I'll probably be debuffing it on her next turn. Alright, since it's single target attacking, I can pull aggro. That's good because if he uses Mustard Bomb, I might dodge the debuffs with Warrior of Light's Elude. Now don't be fooled by how strong Warrior of Light's looking this early in the fight. Very shortly, he's going to be heavily crippled. Alright, so I would like to do a Sensual Dance here, but I'm still going to just dump her Brave. And yes, that will be a much better play, because now everyone will be able to benefit from generating some Brave, and she won't leak as much. It's important to get this debuff in place before its sort of overdrive style bar there is filled, because that's going to be its large HP attack, and that'll help reduce the Brave damage it generates. Alright, so you can see the fire started was it's going to boost its stats here and generate Brave every turn, but more importantly, right before that, for a split second, it pops up that my whole team loses Int Brave. They lose a lot of Int Brave. It's not a small amount. And while that's not a stat that's normally super relevant, it cripples Warrior of Light. His Shining Shield's about half as powerful now, and equally as devastating there. He's also going to be, not only that, but he generates less Brave with all of his skills, so he's just really, really hurt by that effect. Still, the half-power Shining Shield is enough to protect a lot of my teammates from quite a few hits, so... Okay, so going in here, you can see his bar is glowing red and ready. He's going to be performing a group Brave plus HP attack. Lillisette still has a Shining Shield in place, so I don't think this will break anybody. Now, I'm going to put a new Shining Shield up, because it is about to follow this, which is going to be a group Brave attack. And while that alone isn't a big deal, you don't want to get all three people broken by it, because you will just follow that up and kill somebody with a regular HP attack right afterwards. Just using Throw Buckler here to get the target lock back on. Now, Kuja could use an Ultima here to push his debuffs off, but he also has quite a lot of Brave already, so I'm just going to dump it this way. I'm leaning very heavily on Kuja's HP++. It's a 2-hit Brave plus HP attack. It's pretty effective. Basically, I'm trying to save his skills for my summon. And my summon I would like to use really optimally, but I'm probably just going to hang on to in case I need a get out of jail free card. So anytime I really need to do a little extra damage or generate Brave, I'm going to be using a Ring Holy instead. Yes, that means Kuja doesn't have his buffs in place, but you can still see he's hitting just fine damage without it, so... Now, a turn like this, he's gonna get launched. If I use a skill, I'll get more damage out of that launch. This also isn't the worst possible turn to summon. I don't want to summon just yet, though, so I think I'm actually just going to throw another Ring Holy at him. Alright, so a lot of these buffs are about to fall off, or a lot of debuffs, rather, are about to fall off of him. I just need to make sure I reapply them before his next HP attack, and I should be okay then. Okay. So I did just use a Brave attack there. I'm a little paranoid about Warrior of Light getting broken. You see, he's actually okay. It's just I've had a lot of runs sort of derailed by that happening. So anyway, everyone is fine. Okay, so the HP attack is coming. And hopefully nobody breaks. Alright. And perfect timing, his EX is up, that means it's going to heal everyone back up. Let's get all this stuff back up here. Alright, so now his stats are very high. So this is sort of what I was talking about. So he's actually not going to kill somebody here. He's going to use Shockwave. But when Warrior of Light is the only person standing in front of a large amount of Brave, he's not able to handle that. That's usually when I opt to summon, because it gets a little scary very quickly. Alright, I'm about to summon, so I'm going to pop her all boost up. You can see I don't have a Bloom or her level 70 effect on it, so I'm really just popping it because it gives me a little extra Brave. And we're going to go right into the summon here. Choosing to do that because he has an awful lot of Brave, and I want to shave it away, and that just seems like a good time to do it. Now, of course, his stats are quite high right now, so I'm not getting the same kind of firepower I might have gotten out of these Ultimas if I'd done it earlier in the fight. I think that's fine. I should have enough damage to get through it. This is really just sort of icing on the cake kind of damage. As I said, last time I did this, I did it with Rama, and so all I could use here were, like, Ring Holies. Just making sure I remember to do that, so, okay. Alright, so, I'm going to start popping these from this point on. It's not a lot, it's just a little bit of regen, but a little bit of regen still can add up, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Now, under normal circumstances where your Int Brave isn't crippled, that regen's actually pretty meaningful over the course of 10 turns of it. Unfortunately, I don't have 10 turns of strong regen, I have that. So, like I said, Warrior of Light is a little bit sort of nerfed for this kind of fight, but he's still very helpful, in my opinion. Alright, so I do have a chase about to happen here. So I am going to go ahead and make sure I use an ability to generate some Brave here. Just so Kuja can do a tiny bit of extra damage. It's not super meaningful, but it helps. Alright, and this should help him top off hit points for everyone again. So he's just missing a tiny bit, that's fine. Right, so there's a shockwave coming here. I have Shining Shield on everyone. I should be safe. If I'm not safe here, it's probably still okay. So he'll very likely break Warrior of Light. When he has that much Brave, you use a spell to shave it. That's what you do. Ring Holy is probably going to shave harder, so I'm going to use that. Alright, there's an HP attack coming, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure everyone gets protected again. I don't believe that this can break anybody, so I'm just going to go ahead and HP attack. It shouldn't be able to because his attack is reduced. I know she's full Brave, but this is also going to slow the enemy again. Slow is a very helpful debuff. So you can see I'm coming up on like turn 90 here. You have 105. You do want to kill it before then, so I need to go a little bit harder now if I really want to be able to finish this. So the shockwave incoming. Everyone still has Shining Shield, except for Warrior of Light, so I'll go ahead and use one anyway. And it missed him, so that's just fine. Since I'm basically burning through all my abilities here, I want to finish it right around turn 95 or sooner. That'll ensure I hit the score. You don't really get 105 turns even though it says you do. So, just watching this fight, I absolutely could have used more abilities on Lillisette than I did. That just goes to show just how good her HP ++ and such are. Alright, so that's the complete. So, basically, like I said, you can go pretty hard on Lillisette's abilities if you're using the sort of same team composition. Substitutions, you can definitely substitute Cloud out for anyone that does enough damage. A Kuja friend will work. You could probably get away with a Keistis. You could also run Ultimisia instead of either Warrior of Light or Kuja, as long as you still have a good support. You do want to bring some heals. Like I said, Warrior of Light Shining Wave was more than enough. But you could definitely run, you know, Charlotta or something as well. Alright, well thanks for watching, and good luck beating this one on your own.